Hello, my lovely audience, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, East West Show with G&E TV. My name is Jack Chow. Today with me is my good friend, my dear brother, who I owe a lot of, Mr. Lloyd Johnson of West Covina City Council member. Also, he is a veteran of Vietnam War, and he served his time for this country. And I believe this beautiful flag of democracy, he has contributed a corner, at least a corner, right? To Lloyd Johnson, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We got something very big to celebrate today because last Friday, our President Donald Trump has done the greatest thing on earth, to my interpretation, that he signed the Veteran Care Bill into law.
Yes.
From now on, we will see that people who are at the line of providing veteran care service are to be held accountable,
Yes.
right, like that. So
You did a
let's
great
give
job.
both hands for that. Let's
Yes.
give both hands. If I would say something for Donald Trump, I would say this is the most highlighted, tremendous move, big step forward for that. For that, Trump, please keep it up. Good work,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, when you first heard about this news, what did you think? What kind of impression did you have?
Well, Jack, I felt that this is something that Donald Trump campaigned on. Agree or disagree with our president,
Mm-hmm.
what he's doing for our veterans is a great step in the right direction. It's something that's been kicked around for many years. They didn't know what to do with the veterans. They kind of pushed the veterans to the backside. They let the VA run it, and it failed. And finally, our president saw what was happening, and he said, our veterans can't be treated like this. And he promised he'd make a change. And this is the first step. And I, as being a veteran that has seen the disappointment in our Veterans Affairs, I'm very, very happy with this.
And also, my dear audiences, I'm just providing you some numbers. This bill at the Senate, it got anonymous vote.
Yes, it did, 100%.
100%, right? And the House of Representatives, there's only 55 who didn't vote. I don't know. I wonder. I really wanted to know what caused them not to vote yes on this bill. However, and with the 55, it's still a great majority.
Yeah, mostly 55, it was more one side or the other. You know, we got all of the support from the one, but there was 55, you know, on the other side that just, no matter what the president do, they're going to disagree with him for one way or the other. And I couldn't see why.
No, that's BS.
I couldn't see why we made it the party lines on something that this important for our veterans.
I totally disagree,
Yeah,
right?
Our veterans should be up front.
All right, good.
And all sides should agree on it.
Yeah, good. And you know, there is always a saying in election, when you want to decide your vote, though, you check somebody's voting record.
Yes.
Right. Voting record is public record.
Yes,
It's
public
public information. You can always go online to dig about who voted no on this bill, so that we know, oh my God, this is a dangerous, I don't know, whatever. All right, it's your take. But to my take, I would say if there's any bill to be voted, this is the one. This is the one, right? That's why we give it a celebration applauses for that. That's a big move for the United States.
Yes, it is.
Right, good,
Very
good.
good.
And to you, Lloyd, I share something personal with you. Personally, I have a big problem with the fact that we never hesitated to create wars. You were involved in one of them, but we really are sluggish at providing the service to the consequences.
Right. You know, this has gone on for years, Jack. The problem with it is it's been kicked to the side for so many years. The only thing it could do is get worse. What we've done here in the past and what our president done now is brought it up front, saying no, our veterans can't be treated this way. Yes, they need the health care. Yes, we need a place to provide them for their health care. We need to get them, if they have a medical problem, it needs to be getting and taken care of. You know, they also passed another one that, and I do have a medical card that says, if the VA cannot get you in right away, you can go to a private doctor, and the VA will take care of it. They take care of the bill.
Okay.
And so we're working forward that. But this bill is a great bill. It moves everything forward.
That's even better.
It's even
That's
better.
even
Makes it
better.
even
That's
better.
even better. I believe if anyone deserves the first class care, I believe they are the veterans. Nobody goes beyond them. Okay. Now that Jack Chow doesn't have to wait for 57 days to get only a screw fixed on his artificial leg, nobody has to wait.
That's right.
Right?
No,
Nobody has
that's
to
right.
wait. It's unfair. It's a slam on the face.
Yes, it's always been that way, Jack, and it's a shame that our veterans have been so mistreated in the past that they're the ones that it's okay to go out and put your life on the line, but when it comes down to taking care of you afterwards, you were kicked to the side.
Yeah.
And it's been a shame. That's been one of our country's shames that I think that it's time it comes out of the shadows like it is, and it's time that our veterans, when they serve their country, they know that they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, you're right. They know they are going to be taken care of. Hey, son, go fight for this country. When you come home, when you survive, come home, we'll take care of you.
Yes.
Am I right?
That's
so.
right.
When they come home, here it says, on many accounts, on one of the many accounts, it says, for many U.S. military veterans, returning home from war means it's time to begin another battle.
Yes.
Sad. That's sad.
It's very sad.
Now we have 500,000 claims, all right, for assistance at the VA service that have been pending for more than 125 days.
Yes. It's a shame.
So, in this case, this Sergeant Alvarado, Sergeant Alvarado have waited for 57 days. His is not worst case.
No.
And worst case, we have 500,000 here, of one waiting for 125 days.
They've had cases, Jack, where a veteran's sitting inside there and collapse inside the waiting room and end up dying, waiting for service.
Yeah.
And that's a shame. But like I said, I think when all that came out a couple of years ago, of the way our VA was treating our veterans, and all the delays, that brought everything to a boiling point. And ever since then, I have really admit they are getting better. We have a long ways to go, Jack. Don't get me wrong, and I understand.
I'm trying to get into your shoes to think like you think as a veteran, right? In battle, on battlefield, you do not have problem. Your enemies take you as their enemies.
Yes.
But when you come home, you really have a problem that your own folks do not accept you. They don't care for you.
That's how it was in the Vietnam War. That's how it was. Things are better. I've always tell everybody, and I still tell them, you can hate the war, don't hate the warriors.
Yes,
the
of
warriors
course.
are doing what they're supposed to do. And it's just like the gentleman I met from EDI a few months, was it last year? The general from China. His father was.
His father. Yes.
Was, and like I told him, you know what? As a veteran, when we go to war, we have nothing personal.
You're right.
It's the soldier on the other side.
You're right.
They're doing their jobs like we're doing our job. Our problem was when we came home, we fought a worse battle when we came home. A veteran, when they come home, should not have to fight a battle.
Yeah, you're right.
When they come home, they have medical care, any type of medical care. If it's physical or mental, our government should say, yes, if you have a problem, we're going to take care of it.
Of course.
We want to make you whole. When you went
you earned the merit,
you
earned the credit.
When you went there, you were whole. We want you to be whole when you come back.
Yeah, right.
And we will do whatever we can to make you the person that you were before.
That's why I say that bill that was signed into law was the most heartfelt bill.
For our veterans.
And is the most heartfelt laws. Right. My dear audience, my lovely friends, today with me, my friend, my war hero, Lloyd Johnson, council member of West Covina, is sharing his thoughts at this moment of celebration about new law into our law system that protects the veteran returning home who have served the country, who have sometimes lost a part of the body for the service. That's why they need care.
That's right.
That's why they need care, right?
Jack, they all need care. Those are the ones I want your audience to understand. We have veterans who come home who have disabilities that you can see. We have veterans who come home with disabilities that you can't see.
You can't see. Yeah, that's even hurting. That's even hurting.
Sometimes those are worse because
yeah.
you don't understand them.
People don't understand them. All right. Okay, my dear audience, let's take a very short moment break. We will be right back, please. Hello, my dear folks, my lovely audience. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow with the G&E TV. Today, we're celebrating the big victory on the road, a big law, a great law, tremendous law signed by President Donald Trump. Agree with him or not, I don't care. He did that. When he did that, I support, because that is the most heartfelt thing. Yes. The heartfelt thing, not only that was his promise during campaign, but it was something heartfelt all the way, since we have tens of thousands of home returning warriors, right? They need care, they need medical care, they need all kinds of care. Failure to do so is a shame. Failure to do so is a slam on the face. It's disgraceful. Am I right?
Yes, very disgraceful.
Yeah. And like Lloyd Johnson, my dear guest, my dear council member of West Covina, veteran himself with a Purple Heart, that means he was wounded. He got wounded. That's the medal. That's medal. According to him, he just mentioned that you may hate wars, all right, but warriors, they are soldiers. What are soldiers? Because soldiers are the ones who follow orders. Yes. Right? They just did their job, did what they were told to do. That's it. For doing that, the unfortunate ones lost their life. Little luckier ones lost a limb. Right?
That's right.
And the still luckier ones may return home a whole piece, but inside got wounded, which is the worst case, which is even worse.
It's a very bad case.
Good case, right? Can you please give us a little explanation about what set of mind of a guy returning home with a whole body, whole piece, yet torn up from the inside? What would be that?
Let's understand, Jack, that war is something no one should have to see, because you see things in war that you wouldn't see in your own civil life. Now, what happened, it affects a lot of veterans differently. Some veterans, they're able to cope with it, and they come home and they're able to go back to their lives the way it's supposed to be. The ones that haven't been wounded, you know. But then there's some that come home that never. I have a friend of mine that went to Vietnam in 1966. I went there in '68. And to this day, he wakes up with nightmares.
I see.
He came home physically, but he never came home mentally. Because he's still there. He's still fighting the war. He just can't get past. His wife helps him.
He can't go back. Yeah.
He just can't let it go. It's buried in, and that's what happens to a lot of our young women and men today, all fighting in all these other wars. They see so much war that it tears them up on the inside. The PTSD. It's just something that post-traumatic that they can't let it go, and they need the help. You can't see it. If you know them, you see a difference. But if you don't know them, you don't know what they were like. But they need help really bad, and our government in the past has denied it. And if you notice, we have so many homeless veterans. A lot of them are mentally, because of the mental problems they've had in war.
Exactly.
That's why if you go down the Skid Road, you'll find.
Exactly.
I think there's like right now. I think we have an average of 2,500. They've actually counted of homeless veterans.
Exactly.
Because of this.
I never know. I mean, I would never know what explosion would sound, but for that experiences. That was about many years ago when I was going towards the graduation. There is 1 month of training programs. They go on military bases for some basic training.
Basic training.
And as part of the training, we were doing some grenades, grenade mines. The subject was that to dig a hole and to put the grenades in bundle and to put a layer on top, and another bundle of grenades on top, another wood board on top, goes layer after layer, and then close the hole and light it, something like that. And it was supposed to be 90 degrees shooting to the sky. Our hole, of course, we're students, we're in training, right? Was kind of tilted at an angle to ourselves, towards ourselves, that we did not even notice. So here goes the fire. When it goes up right above us. Instead of going the other way, it goes right above us. I tell you, I never thought the word sound, S-O-U-N-D, could be that big.
They are.
It's not the ear, it's the air. The whole air is the vibration, zoom, 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 zoom. That kind of thing. You never know a word of sound could be that big. That short moment, about 10-something seconds, because you have cluster of grenades to explode, right, was my worst moment of life. I could still remember, even these days, after half a century, right, when I have nightmares, some nightmare would be that sound related. So just assume our young woman and young man, age 17, 18, 19, to experience that kind of environment. It's not a 10-second moment, like in my case. It's day long, for years.
Imagine war, you have to be a minimum of 18 years old to go to war. Imagine, sometimes it's even hard for me to talk about. When I see the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, I have 6 what I call my brothers on that wall that I actually saw die in Vietnam. And to this day, you never forget. You don't forget them. You don't forget the faces. You know, and
you saw them die.
They were in combat with me. So imagine. So I can understand our young men and women nowadays when they see that in battle, their friends get killed in battle.
Yes.
You can't forget it.
By understanding how much they have put up with, probably would set your mind understanding the cares, the quality of cares that they deserve.
Oh yeah, it's undeniable the care they need. Those, like I said, there are those veterans like myself that accept, you know, we don't let it eat us alive inside. We don't have the nightmares anymore. We don't have this. Our life has moved on.
You're one of the lucky ones that you could recover.
I am very one of the lucky ones.
There are folks who never got to recover.
They're in the VA right now. They're going to VA where they have the meetings, where they have. I have been fortunate that I had 6 of my very good friends that were Vietnam veterans. 2 of them just passed away this last year. But we still have 4 of us that we can actually talk. You need some way to release whatever it is, and we have, and so that's helped me out. But this Veterans Bill will help a lot more veterans who don't have that capability of having people they can talk to. They'll be able to get the care they need, the help they need, and that's exactly what we need.
The moment many years ago when I first met you, the moment I saw you with a Purple Heart hat, I felt automatic, you need a salute. You deserve a salute. That's the common sense, right? This guy has put up this much for this country. This is what you did, how much you deserve. I used to be a reporter myself, and when I was on one of the jobs, I met with quite a few of them. One told me, I was simply asking their stories, war stories, right? And one told me that when I got home, I can't stand an environment that is too quiet. I told him why. I thought that was surprise being quiet always a
like
good
that.
thing, right? He says, no, I was afraid sometime a straight bullet might hit me, right? All of a sudden, because I saw friend die that way, right? And he says he couldn't stand any loud environment either. That reminds him of the bombing at the battleground.
The 4th of July, take that for example.
Yeah, take it out.
How many veterans are affected by the 4th of July? A lot of them. Because of the exploding of the fireworks and stuff in there. You know, a lot of them, they're still affected by that. I know a veteran.
He can't stand it.
He stays in his room because he can't stand it. He turns his music up real loud. He has inside the house air conditioning because of that one reason. They can't get past it. And it happens. But like I say, when we talk about this bill, also, we keep going back to it, this is a first step that will help so many veterans that has been denied their help.
As you can see, people are debilitated.
Yes.
Anyway, my dear friends, let's take a short moment. We'll be right back. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the show. That is a very emotional show. Subject is emotional. And, well, anyway, I'm sorry for that, but we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
With my friend Lloyd Johnson, we're sharing his war experiences, especially in a situation when you hear their stories. And especially when you and I, everybody could enjoy the fireworks, the 4th of July, somebody couldn't stand. You know how seriously they have been hurt. In other terms, they are debilitated.
Yes.
For life.
Yes.
Right. So they deserve a lot. That we believe. We owe our appreciation to Donald Trump signing this bill, and he says during his campaign that he will do it, not only do it, but in a big time.
Yes.
Right.
He did.
And he says that he will never stand anymore about the failure. And in the bill, anybody who are found to be reluctant at work. Oh, they use the watch pornos at work or during work hours, right? They get fired.
Yeah.
And the manager or the one who fired the supervisor has the right to handpick the good ones to fill in the job right away without going through those tedious procedures, whatever thing. Right? Those are good things. So much for that. So much for the excitement.
So much for the excitement.
How about that?
Jack. You know, it's
because all right. I heard that you just recently went to China.
Yes, I did. I had a fantastic time in China.
Yeah. How come you all of a sudden went to China?
Well, my fellow councilman Tony Wu, he was invited, and he said he wanted to take me with him. And I left part of my heart in China.
All right.
I loved the country and I loved the people.
Oh yeah.
You know, I met some fantastic, fascinating people in China. And as I've grown up as a child in all those years, you hear one side of a country, you always believe how evil this country is, right? But when you get there and you meet the people, it's nothing like it was. The younger generation over there is changing. Yes, and I've always believed this is their government. I would go, I would respect their government. I would not say anything against their government. I had nothing bad to say.
Yeah, all right. Where did you go? Which city did you go?
Was it Yan'an?
Yunnan. Beijing.
We stopped at Beijing, and then we flew. We was actually, when we landed, Jack, we were actually not in the airport for 20 hours.
Oh.
If we weren't in the air, we was in an airport for delay. Waiting for the other plane to take. We had a 3-hour wait in Da Nang. I mean in Beijing to get that where we go.
But a lot of people you see, right?
Yeah, we went completely up south as close as you can get, like to Cambodia and Vietnam, and that right on the border.
That's Vietnam.
Right on the
south
border,
border, right?
Yeah, right on the south border. And then we went all the way down north, as far north as you could get, down by the Russian border. But you know,
by the Russian border.
Yeah, and that was what's that? Mexico or
Mexico.
Mexico. You know, we got to meet the governor in the first place we went. We got to meet a couple mayors in the other one.
All right, all right.
And like I said, I loved it.
How did you impress people? You. How they think about you?
If you love cowboys, they love me.
Oh yeah.
Tony Wu was.
Were you wearing your?
Yes, of course. This is how I went.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
This is who I am.
You went exactly like right now.
That.
All right.
They loved it, you know, and I loved the people. Tony was my interpreter.
Did they ask you about your purple hat?
A couple people.
Purple heart hat.
I felt so honored. I mean, I must have taken a couple thousand pictures for people. They want to have pictures with me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But you know, it filled my heart. Matter of fact, I'm on WeChat now, which I didn't know what WeChat was, but it's probably about a half a dozen people from China.
Yeah, that's why you have WeChat.
With you, and I WeChatted you.
The other day it surprised me. Oh, WeChat.
And I do that with some of the ones that sponsored us.
Very good.
And there's I think it's 6 of them that I talk to all the time now.
Oh, good.
I have one lady that wants to learn English.
Did lots of people know that you went to Vietnam War?
Well, they ask when my hat says Vietnam, and we talked about it, and they were really, really honored.
Did you come across anybody who also went to Vietnam?
One of the conference we went to.
Okay, very good.
And he asked
you guys shook hands?
Yeah, oh, of course. And what happened, he asked me if I'd been back to Vietnam yet. And I said no. He said he was in Vietnam in '73. He went back and he healed himself by going back. And I explained to him, 1 year I would love to, but he was in there in '73 towards the end of the war. I was there in '68 at the really heart of it.
Okay.
I said what I saw and what I did, some of the stuff that
in other words, you didn't hit him.
that he never had to see.
I see.
And he never had to go through.
I see.
So it's a little bit harder for me.
I see.
But me just going to China was that first step, Jack.
Yeah,
it was that first step of healing that I was so close to Vietnam, right there on the border.
Exactly like you said just now, you mentioned, remember that last event when the son of the commander, of the general from China is here, and I introduced you guys together. When everything was explained, oh, you became friends, right? And you even hugged like that.
Because we were soldiers.
His
dad was a soldier, like I was.
A soldier, yeah.
Soldiers don't have anything against soldiers.
It's people. People are always close to each other.
It's the idea that's what you're fighting for. They believe one way, we believe another. And that's fine. We're soldiers. We're doing what we're told to do. We're following orders.
You're right.
Nothing's personal.
Right. All right. Very good. And what was the purpose of just a visit? Just only sightseeing?
It was trying to bring our relationship between China and West Covina. We promoted West Covina the whole time we were there. We talked about West Covina. In their conference, they had China and U.S. work relationships and stuff that can be brought forward.
Oh, I didn't know your visit. Remember last time when you were at the show, I mentioned a friend of mine write to me asking, looking for a place to live. Number 2, looking for a place to invest.
Yes.
And I wrote number 1 city, West Covina.
I remember you telling me.
Should I know your visit, I would put you guys together.
Well, it was one of those things that came up afterwards. Tony, I guess the delegation was here trying to get, first they went to Pasadena, and none of their council members, anybody said, we don't have time. We just don't. So one of them says, I know a person, get in touch with Tony Wu.
Okay, good.
And being a spokesman like Tony is, and I call him a spokesman and a statesman. He represents everybody very well. He said yes, he would go if I could go with him.
I see. All right.
And they said
so you went.
So I went. The worst part of the whole trip was a 12-and-a-half-hour flight.
Okay, 12 and a half. There was.
No, I said for me.
Yeah. Well, I did it. I did it quite often.
Rest of it was a piece of cake.
All right. And I recall last time when you and Tony were here on the show, you guys talking about to promote West Covina, to make it known to people, to especially Chinese folks.
Yes.
Right. So you're now doing it.
That's exactly what we did. We promoted West Covina. You know, we went to one place there that a winery there. I think it was in northern China. When we went up there, they had on their building. First it was in Chinese, and why don't it welcome to West Covina City Councilman.
Oh,
in
good.
English, and
right.
in Chinese above it, and in English right across the whole front of their building.
All right.
You know, so you know how good that made me feel.
Yeah. That's kind of a mark of the welcome, right?
Yes, it was.
And the welcome slogan.
Yes, and it was it touched my heart.
And how long did you take for that trip?
We were there a week. We left.
Only a week?
Yeah, because you know we have things to do.
But many cities you're flying. You were flying most of the time.
We went to the first one. We stayed there 2 days or 3 days. We actually stayed in the first one 3 days. We were going to stay 2, but they wanted to stay an extra day. They wanted us to stay an extra day. So we stayed an extra day. Then we flew all the way north. And in north we only stayed 2 days. Then we flew back to Beijing. We stayed overnight in Beijing, and then we flew out the next day. So it was actually, we left here on Saturday night. So you know, with the time change and so, we got there on Monday morning. So and then finally we got where we were going to. We had our first. The conference actually started Tuesday morning. So we stayed. We did the conference, and we had a couple meetings. We met with the governor over there. And then there was a couple of mayors that we actually, you know, we had a chance to meet with. We went into one of the councils. Sit down.
Have you invited them to come over?
We've invited the delegation to bring somebody over. Yes, we want this to work out. We're trying
like
to get like a sister city.
Yeah, like a sister city, mutual visit way.
That's what we're trying to do. Would I love to go back to China? Yes, I would. That's how. Would I go back to basically the same place that I was at? I loved it. There's no sense in me changing.
Very good. Very good. And did you guys touch any specific projects over there?
No, we got to see what they're doing. But what the was seeing if we can bring closer relations. So you start out slow.
Warm up.
You warm up to see if the interest is there.
All right.
And you ask them to come here. We would like to have a delegation come here to West Covina.
All right.
To invest. That's what we want. We want them to invest here. That's what we want them to do. We're asking them to come to West Covina. It's a beautiful city. We have left that they can invest, and we'd love to have the investment here.
Very good, very good. West Covina is a good city. I know that for sure. Otherwise, EDI wouldn't have stationed here.
That's why we love you here.
For more than 2 decades. For more than 2 decades, this is our city. It's an EDI city, right?
So we want it to be your city.
Of course. My dear audience, today with my good friend, Lloyd Johnson, council member of West Covina, also a veteran who did his part to serve this country. We're sharing a lot. We talk about the bill, and we move on to his visit to China.
Yes.
Right? Let's take a moment now. When we come back, shall we talk about your city plan, please? Last time we talked about budget.
Yes.
We check a little bit about your pocket.
Okay, sure.
Right, very good. Hello, dear folks. Welcome back to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West Show with my friend Lloyd Johnson, council member of West Covina, veteran for Vietnam War, returning home, picking up politics. And during time between, he was involved in land developing and successful everything he did, everything he has done so far. And we talking about veteran laws, which Donald Trump has just signed. We gave Donald a big hand on that. For that was the most heartfelt step that to everybody. I would say if we ask Americans for a cross-state, cross-nation vote, you will probably get 100%.
Yes, you
right? That's for sure. And recently he paid a visit to China. That was a successful handshake visit, a warm-up. Hopefully something would happen as a consequence for that
visit.
We
hope so.
Right?
We really do. We hope so.
Very good. And about your city budget, about your pocket, right? City pocket. Last time we had the show, when you and Tony were on the show, that was the time talking about the city budget.
Yes, we
Right.
talked about it.
Now, what's the budget situation?
Well, we actually passed our budget last Tuesday
Oh,
night.
you did.
It's a very difficult budget.
Mm-hmm.
There's cuts here and cuts there. One thing that I wouldn't go for, cutting any of our fire and police.
Catching what?
We wouldn't cut any of the budget. I mean, I don't want to cut any fire or police. We're not going to lay anybody off.
Oh, I see. No
we're not
cut.
going to reduce the forces on the fire and police.
No.
I
I
couldn't
wouldn't.
do that. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We will make.
But there was a cut?
No.
Okay.
We refuse to make any type of cuts.
Oh, very good, very good.
On it.
Very good.
We manage.
Remember last time when you guys were here, you talk about as the most proud part of your own fire, of your own
Yes.
police, right? So without those,
We're
you have nothing to be proud of.
We're an ordinary city.
Yeah, or
That
ordinary
just
city.
sets us above as a city of our size. We're one of the only one of the only ones in our area that do have our own fire and police.
So you were last time I checked with that budget, limited budget. You have close to 100 police officers, right?
We had to put a freeze on our police officers, part of it. We still have 100 police officers.
All right, good.
We wanted to hire some more, but with the budget the way it is, we can't hire any more right now. They're frozen, but we're not laying any of them off.
Okay, very good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And for firefighters, you're increasing too, or are you keeping the same numbers?
We're keeping the same numbers. We're restructuring the fire department to make it work.
I see.
There's certain things that we have to do. Remember, each department had to cut their budget. Every department across the board had to cut the budget.
Okay.
But how do you cut it? What do you do to make it work?
Yes, yes, yes.
And we are going to make it work.
Yeah, it's like what? It's like a kindergarten, all right? You have all crying, a house full of crying babies. They all cry, but you got to know who needs the priority.
You have to realize what fits. Everybody had to give up something. The best contract you can make, Jack, on anything, a budget or anything, when nobody's happy.
Okay.
See, because when no one's happy, everybody had to give up something to make it work.
Yeah.
If you want to make everybody happy, nobody gives anything up.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But to make it work, everybody has to give up something to make it work. Are they happy with it? No. Are we happy that they had to? No. But as a city, we have a responsible to the residents of West Covina is that we will do everything we can to keep our city running as a whole.
As an elected official or politician, do you, are you realize of the fact that there is nothing, no government can make everybody happy?
Nobody can make everybody happy.
Nobody can make everybody happy,
What you
right?
do is the best you can.
Yeah, you do the best you can.
You pick out what you think is best that will work for the situation that you're in. And that's what we did.
All right, okay. So next to policing and firefighting, what do you put up next as a priority?
You know, your infrastructure.
Infrastructure, good.
Your roads and everything else, you have to make sure that they're kept up. You have to make sure you have the funds there to make sure that they are kept up. So your infrastructure is very, very important.
Now we're talking about those infrastructures on I-10 and the cross-section of Azusa, somewhere like that. Was that a city project or was that a state project?
Anything to do with the freeway is Caltrans.
Caltrans is not yours.
That had nothing to do with the city. The off-ramps, the on-ramps, and all that property, that all belongs to Caltrans.
I noticed in West Covina, some surface even marked. When you see a pothole, you kind of paint it with a circle, something like it. In other words, they are marked. That was on city project, right?
Yeah, if it's on the streets, yeah. You'll have someone go out there, see a pothole that has to be taken care of. They'll mark it, and then the city will go out and take care of the pothole.
Yeah, I'm so glad I see the mark, and I even stopped at once, and I look at them. Oh yeah, it looks like somebody is planning on doing something to it.
Yes.
That's why they mark it. All right.
So it's gonna
and
be
some street signs are kind of falling.
Yeah, we try. I like to have the residents understand is that with your budget on it, you have to pick and choose what the priorities are.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, we have streets, and I have a lot of residents ask me on your infrastructure. Well, my streets are pretty bad. Why are you doing this other street first? That isn't as bad.
Okay.
The reason why is to do this other street that isn't as bad so it won't get in that condition. If you take care of it before it gets that bad, you don't pay as much to have it done.
Yeah, you're right.
Then you move on to the one that's it's already there.
You're right.
The one that's already in a little bit worse condition, it's already there.
All right.
You take the one that's not going to cost you as much to get it done, and then you don't have to spend as much to get the other one done.
I see. All right. So far, people start to see. I saw myself, take the pothole, for example, people are at work.
Yes.
At work, right? So what is still the next up to priorities next to infrastructure?
Well, like I say, you go with your three. You got your fire, your infrastructure.
Fire, the policing, infrastructure.
You got city services that residents need. You have to make sure that I want to make sure that our parks are up to date.
Parks, okay.
Like infrastructure is very important. That takes care of a lot of things. Then you want to make sure the services that the residents need, for their parks and everything else that they need. So we're working on those two to make sure. But like I said, my top priority, which I work very hard for, is infrastructure and our fire and police, public safety.
Okay.
Those are the public safety and the infrastructure are the most important things in our city.
All right, I agree. And on my calendar, these three are prioritized.
Yes, they
are. Firefighting, policing, and infrastructure.
Yes.
And you have an environment created for people. When you talk about infrastructure, you're talking about parks. You include parks.
Right? Parks are in with it. Your streets are in with it.
Parks,
your
streets,
signs, your lights,
stuff
everything that makes a resident's life better. That's what we call our infrastructure.
All right, very good. All right. So the council members approve the budget.
Yes.
So do you find yourself in any shortfall, or you stretch yourself to overcome the shortfall?
Well, what you have to do is that residents have to understand that when we start out with a budget at the very beginning of the year, they put a wish list in. Well, I wish we had this, we wish we had that. So that inflates the budget. So for example, we started out with a $6 million deficit. Well, that's because that's a list of each department wants this and everything else. And finally we go back and we tell them, no, you can't have that. That's our city manager. Our city manager runs the job. And you can't have that. So now we start cutting. We start freezing here.
Who's the manager now?
Our city manager, Chris Freeland.
Huh?
Chris Freeland.
Oh, Freeland. I know Freeland.
Yes. He's doing a very good job.
Oh, good guy. Excellent guy, yeah.
But you have to understand that he has some difficult decisions, but that's why he's the city manager. That's his job.
And then you no longer need that $6
we start cutting
million.
We start cutting down. We start whittling away at the $6 million. And last Tuesday night we balanced the budget.
Very good. All right, very good. Good news. Good news. Oh, today all good news, right? Yes. With my friend Lloyd Johnson, I really want to give him a salute one more time, not only for the fact that he served this beautiful country by contributing his time, everything. Even he gets himself a Purple Heart. That means he got wounded, and he never stops. He still continues serving this great city, West Covina, by doing council member job. And I like his concept. I like his culture. And I respect him. So we're over time, but we're happy. Thank you, my audiences, for watching. And oh, by the way, your first term or second term?
This is my first term.
Yeah, run for next.
If I may, real fast, and I know we're running over time. Please, I'd like for everybody to remember the 4th of July. 4th of July, I know you guys are having
yes, please.
But please remember why 4th of July is there. What the meaning of it, not because of the fireworks and all this stuff. And I know you will, Jack.
Okay, in that case, I would like to extend my invitation for you to come join me in the 4th of July show.
I will try my best to do it. May I give you an answer tomorrow?
Okay, very good. Call
because
me.
Because I have a schedule, but just let them remember.
I will schedule a show.
Yes.
A guest. Regular guest,
yes.
And 2 employees,
yes.
myself, and an official.
Yeah.
And then you're the one, the elected official,
I would
who
love to make
also as a veteran.
I will let you know, because the 4th of July, if it wasn't for our veterans, we wouldn't have a 4th of July.
Very good.
And I know if I'm not there,
I agree.
I know you will carry it.
Totally. I'll agree.
I thank you, sir.
Very good.